Hey, Bill Shaka here. Welcome to another edition of the 5-Minute Motivator. Welcome to Tamarindo, Costa Rica. I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. Over the last 2 days, we talked about the top 5 mistakes that new supervisors can make when they get promoted into the role of supervisor from that of an individual contributor. What I would like to do today in the third part is to discuss 3 strategies as to what to do about the 5 mistakes and to make sure that those 5 mistakes don't happen to you. Let's discuss each one individually. Here's the first thing I would suggest you do as a new supervisor. If necessary, less socialization. You know, folks, it's one thing when you're an individual contributor and you're ending the shift with other individual contributors and you decide to go for a beer and you sit around and you talk about shop talk. That's fine. When you're a supervisor, which is basically the first tier of a management role in your company, you may not be able to do that as much because that familiarity can cause individuals to begin to ask you questions that you simply don't feel comfortable answering. If you do answer it, it might be a breach of managerial confidentiality. If you don't answer it, it may seem like you're aloof, like you're a little too good for the individuals now. So it's a tight rope to walk. My suggestion is just socialize less. Find other individuals to perhaps socialize with, or maybe other supervisors. Okay, now some of you may think, well, that's kind of an insensitive approach. I'm concerned about your career more than sensitivity. So you think about that. If you are a new supervisor, perhaps what you may have to do is socialize less. Here is something else to consider as a new supervisor. Bring your ex-coworkers who you now supervise into your area or office or cubicle or wherever, or some type of private space, one at a time. And tell them that you need their help. Ask them for assistance. And by that, meaning that you want to make sure that the workload continues to flow properly, that the work is still produced in the same type of excellent framework as it always was, and ask them for their buy-in, their assurance, and their help. Now, what you're doing with this is that you are turning around that friendship that you had, and now you're using it to your advantage. Don't just let the friendship leverage work with them. In terms of asking you questions that are inappropriate, you use it with them. And one of the great ways you could do that is by metaphorically putting your arm around their shoulder and saying, listen, I need your help, okay? And asking them to help you make sure that the work flow continues properly and that the work is excellent. Now, how are they going to do that? I don't know. Maybe they're going to keep policing things, but if you do this with everybody, then everybody's going to be a policeman. You don't want to turn it into a Nazi state. You're going to have to determine what's the correct approach in terms of your culture. And here's the third thing that I would do. Especially as a coaching tool, if an individual is not performing up to snuff, and you know they were performing up to snuff in the past, now they're not, and you know it's because of you. It's because of the friendship that you had. They're slacking off, and you need to do something about it. Call them in and basically ask the question, if you were me, what would you do with this work? Role reversal. And let them ask themselves, looking at their work, assuming that they were looking at it through your eyes, what would they do? Now, folks, this is an entire 8-hour course that I present, stepping up to supervisor. So needless to say, over 3 5-minute motivators, I left a little bit of information out. But I at least hopefully am getting your intellectual juices flowing, and that's what I wanted to do. So, 3 strategies to avoid the 5 mistakes from the last 2 days. Less socialization, bring people into your office one at a time, ask them for help, and ask the question as a coaching tool, if you were in my place, what would you do? Think about it. Bill Shaka, thanking you for attending another edition of the 5-Minute Motivator. Please like, share, comment. Please join the memberships. Bye-bye.